So I'm going to invite you to come really in with me. That means to put aside everything right now. Make sure that all your phones are switched off. And then let us close the eyes a moment, where all these images disappear the moment the eyes are closed. There is nothing in the material world to distract. And if you will, please allow your whole agenda to fall by the wayside. If you will, be willing to give yourself to yourself wholeheartedly. Allowing all concerns to fall down. And begin to fall closer and intimately towards yourself. Towards your heart. Towards the most quiet, placeless place in your being. Letting go of all that you want or you don't want. Letting go of trying to get anything or trying to keep anything away. Letting go of any bodily holding. Yet being aware of this body of sensation. As you come more and more closely towards whatever you can find to be yourself. What can you find with no idea? What can you find here? You are aware. There may be sensations. There may be thoughts passing through. But these sensations, how long will they last? How long can these thoughts last? What is knowing these sensations? What is knowing these thoughts? Coming intimately, more closely into that. And letting go here. Letting go of trying to get anything. Just giving up all that work of trying to keep anything away. And falling deeper and deeper into the sweetness of what it is just to be, feeling into what this being that you are, feeling into that. Like falling into a deeper level, a deeper layer, a deeper level of pure being. Like sinking down through the ocean. Where it gets quieter and quieter. And all those waves on the surface of the ocean become irrelevant. Because as you sink deeper, on another level deeper. Letting go more and more into the oceanic being. Where when you try to find what is yourself, what you find is more and more spaciousness. Waves and waves of oceanic being. And the more you let go, the more we meet as that. You cannot deny that you are aware. And you are doing nothing to be aware. It is your nature. And you have always been aware. You have never not been the nature of awareness. Although this is true for every living being, this is not always awakened awareness, aware of itself. And as you go on letting go deeper and deeper, there is no end to the depth of your being. There is no end. You disappear as someone having a name and address. All your stories fall down and you enter the very essence of your creation, which is the Creator. And another level deeper. And peace in experience begins to enter. Which is the nature of your deepest being. You just look for yourself right now, having the eyes closed, having no distraction of material images. And you just look to where you find the ending of you or the beginning of anything else. And you cannot find. And the more you let go of this seeming life as a person, and what you are as a being is opening up. You are filled. You are refilled at the source of your own being. It is like taking a drink. So I invite you, before we come into the meeting where images appear, I invite you to really give yourself this moment to fully let go. and drink. This is what does not pass by. Every experience is a come and a go. And this is the ground. This is what does not pass by. But the moment you begin to grasp, you try to get or you try to keep. That is where you separate yourself. If bliss shall come now, allow it. And if bliss shall pass by, don't reach out to grab it. Stay as that which never changes. And you will know another kind of bliss. The subtle realms that are here all the time. Just taking this moment to bathe. And quite naturally and effortlessly, 1,000 thank yous begin pouring from my heart. I cannot say even my heart. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the beloved. This is the one you long for. This is the peace beyond all experience. This is the love that does not come and go. Having nothing to grasp and nothing to push away. You are free. You are freedom itself. And freedom is calling all your layers of self home. The layers on the surface, the top layers of where you live in this human plane as a persona, all those layers in between being called home to this freedom. And everything is pointing you to that. So I'm going to invite you just to feel this physical body that you're traveling in. And just with the eyes closed, feel the space around this physical body, where the space that this physical body takes up. Just get a feel of that space which this physical body moves in. Seeing that there is no separation between where this body touches the space it moves through in. Seeing that there is no separation in that. Feeling your way in this vehicle, and slowly and gently beginning to come up, as if you are coming up from the bottom of the ocean, slowly up, gently, Moving more and more. Preparing to come into this meeting gently, allowing the eyes to slowly come open, and as you do, being aware of the body. I recognize you as myself. In the deepest and truest levels of your being, I recognize that you and I are one. And I love to meet you as that, because it's more true than anything else. I love to meet you as that. And I also love your unique expression of that. When I look here on the screen, I see many images. I know it is all the same one. It is the diversity. Whatever is creating all of this is expressing itself exactly, uniquely as each one. And I don't have any illusion about any kind of separation. Although it's a pretty good illusion, all these images and different expressions, it's pretty good. So something that was coming through me as building up towards the call was about the nature of experience. As we all know, it's not news, but we all know that experience is something that comes and goes. That's what experience is. The nature of it is that it comes and goes. There's no experience that you can keep or hold. And any kind of trying to keep any experience is the immediate loss of what you're trying to keep. And any trying to push any experience away or keep any experience away is the resistance that keeps it in place. The nature of experience is that it comes and it goes. If you allow, you are the allowing that whatever comes will have to go. When you know that so deeply, and you are the allowing of the very nature of experience, you fall into the ground of being, where all experience is passing through. And even it can happen like with satsangs, with the sharings of the true meeting. In these meetings, we can experience a blissfulness, a moment, a gap of freedom, free space of and then the moment that we try to make this into something to keep, it becomes just an experience. But if we really, really get what this is pointing to, which is here all the time, that's what's being pointed to in this meeting and in all meetings of this nature. It's being pointed to what is all the time. And if the recognition happens in this meeting, there's a recognition of what is all the time. Then this meeting has been a service to itself. And there is no grasping. And it's not any longer experienced as just an experience. That once the meeting is over, all our mind fuck starts, and all our world of me and my life and my everything and my takes over and takes the foreground. And then these little meetings we have, 2 hours, become the thing we reach for. So what I want to point to is that the sharing of this meeting is pointing to what is all the time. And when we take whatever is recognized in these moments of, because when we come together with this focus, there's an energy field, and a kiss from the beloved is really, because there's recognition of itself. Like I was saying in the dropping, is that the nature of every living being is awareness. But every living being is not awakened awareness. And that makes every bit of the difference. We can say that we are all one, which is true. Yet, if awareness is not awakened to itself, there's no lived realization of that. It's a totally different lived reality. So what we are pointing to in these meetings, we are ending all beliefs. What I'm sharing with you is not a belief. I don't ask you to believe me. I'm not giving you a spill which I want you to believe. What I do offer is the space to truly investigate that. To investigate that for its own revelation of itself to itself in a way that it cannot be believed or disbelieved. It just is bang, is revealed. No way to deny. So many of you on this call, you don't need even the investigation because you already are having awareness awakened to itself. And yet that awareness which is awakened to itself may be in one level of you, where other levels of you are still roaming around with ways that belong to the belief in a separate entity. So then your life goes on in a way where still in some levels something is missing. And there is no end to revelation. As more and more beings come together on this planet, in this human condition we're in, as more and more beings come together and stand in this revelation individually as one, which is paradoxical in itself. We stand as individuals, awakening individuals. We stand as a force of light, realizing itself individually as one. This creates a frequency which gives power to the truth, which is so deeply called for in our human race. We're being up-leveled, we're being made new, and there's so much destruction on what has to fall away. So if you are at a point where there's nothing left for you in this life except for to give your whole life to the burning fire of truth, if you're at that point, then there is no better use of your time than to give that living realization to every aspect of your life. I invite you to use this space, to use this meeting. And I always say that, you know, whoever starts to move the energy field and to move, it moves all. We are not like one person here who is coming with their little thing. It's not possible. We are all an aspect of the one moving the dysfunction to come to more liberation. I don't see it that where we are in our humanity, I don't see it that any of us can be totally free until we're all free. On all levels of being. your deeper levels are so delicious. And they're calling you to live. Rested in that. No matter what moves on the surface. So I offer you this space to interact and explore whatever, if you feel there is something moving you'd like to interact with this one, you are welcome. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Karin.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Hey.
Oh, so nice to see you.
Yeah, same.
Oh God, I'm crying. I'm so touched. And I feel, oh my God, it's like this being wants to come out and live. That's how I feel. I don't know really how to explain it. You probably know more than I do.
Every time I see you, you're like this, Karin. And it's beautiful because every time I see you, you're like this, yet you always have evolved much more each time I see you. You know, that urgency in you. Just want to come out, just want to...
Yeah.
You've been making strong movements with that, right?
Yes.
You gave up your work recently, didn't you?
Well, it's been a long negotiation. It's still negotiations on any day now, so probably tomorrow.
Yeah. So you just keep on following the truest thing in you. That's all you have to do, is just keep following what is most true for you. That's it.
Yeah, and you recommended on your Facebook, you put John the Router on.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I was just, I don't know how I got to Denmark, to that retreat.
Oh, you did?
Yes, it was my inner being that put me there, because my mind was like, no, I don't know the guy. I don't know what he's talking about. It's expensive. I don't have time, but I just went there.
Yeah. You're not the only one. Many who I put that, and many of beings who I've been, well, you know, Deborah and Tina.
Oh, yeah.
They went to...
Oh, yeah. To where? But not Denmark, no.
Canada right now, to be with you.
Oh, great,
but
great.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah. And my inner being put me in front of him, and then something happened that was very strong, and I was started just to cry a lot, and then all this light came through. So it was like my being was just out like a little baby, he said, and it feels like it's wanted so much, and I want it, but it's going back, you know.
Like I was saying, Karin, you know, every experience will pass, right? So even if you will have the experience of the most expanded experience of a moment of full enlightenment, right? Spiritual experience it's beautiful, it's valuable, it shows you and points you and lets you know what is, it shows you, but it's an experience. Mm-hmm. And all experience pass. It must fall back. It's like it opens and shows you, and then it must fall back. It's the nature of experience. Yet, if you really get what that experience points to, it changes your life forever. Yeah.
The last sentence, what do you mean by that?
It will change your life forever if you really get what it points to. And what it points to is what is here all the time. What is here right now. It's the ground of all experience. That's what it points to. You know, there was a time where I used to have a lot of spiritual experience, big ones, you know, especially in the beginning. And now I don't need them anymore. Because they are there to show you. They change you. They change you. They completely change everything. If you really, really get what it points to, it all comes back down to what is here all the time. All the time. And sometimes in this moment-to-moment lived life, there are experiences passing through that you don't want. You prefer to have a different one, right? And that's okay. Yet, what is here before the experience and what is here after the experience? What is here which never ever changes? How much value does that have? And normally, the recognition of the value of that is not seen. What is here before any experience, during and after the experience is gone? What is here constant? For the mind will look like, oh yeah, it's just nothing. So what? There's no recognition of the value of that. And therefore, big experiences are needed to show you what that is. That you can see the value. And then it's an experience, it has to fall back. It's a wave coming out of the ocean. It has to fall back to the ocean, which includes all experiences. The oceanic existence, which is all experiences all at the same time. Yeah. That's what's happening here right now, is all the experience on the whole planet and beyond are all happening at the same time. And that is here all the time. And you are that. So if you get really what happened with John in that moment, if you get really, really what that impact of what that was showing you, then the experience has not gone anywhere. It is here. All the oceanic being of all experiences in existence right now. Yet if you land back in an identity, you will keep on reaching for that same. You need to have that again and again. It's like to get high. Yeah? And it's beautiful, like I was saying, like you've been in 2 retreats with me, right? And in these retreats, you know that there's an expanded experience, right? Where everybody starts stripping off all the layers of untruths. Then the real truth starts opening up and shining, and there's this one love meeting itself. Bang, right? Wonderful. And everybody is like a light. And then, of course, we all go our separate ways, and life happening. You have to deal with all the everyday. And it seems like that beautiful experience is over. But that's what was my message when I came on, is to say that it's only served itself when you have really got what it points to, and that is beyond experience. It's the ground of being.
You were talking before about being awake in different levels.
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe that's the way it is with me. I'm awake in one level, but not another one.
That's how it is for all beings, most beings who recognize, they get we get a recognition of what I am in the deepest as awareness. Yet it's always, I mean, I'm not going to say 100% always. There are cases when it's different, yet 99% it's like okay, 98%. I don't know who I'm answering to, but it's someone in the field. Where on our personal level, it's still hooked into all the old ways of fear and protection and limitation and all those things. And it's for all kind of all aspects of identification. Like a better way to say that, it's like say for myself, you know, when I came, I was 3 years solitary confined, and I couldn't find anything as myself apart from pure awareness, and I didn't even have that thought. I only could find pure awareness. It didn't even occur to me that there was something else, right? Having no relatings in no ways. And then coming back to a world where relatings were calling personality levels from me, I saw structures of personality come up to deal with those things. And those levels of personality structures were definitely not awakened. Right? So there I was having this experience of looking and saying, how can that be? I know I'm not that. Yet that is taking a life. And that for me became a suffering. There was a period of really about 3 years of confusion with that, how it can be that on one level I'm totally clear, and on these personality levels I'm really, really in a suffering in a relationship. Yeah. So that really became the inquiry to me, like, how can all this fit together? How can this be integrated as one thing? Yeah. And that's where I started to begin to see that the awakening of what we are as a being is the beginning and not the end. It's the beginning, it's not the end. It's the end of identifying yourself as a person, separate, yet it is the beginning of conscious undoing. So all those layers are coming undone, and that is like a dying process where it's not always feeling good, and it's not always feeling, you know, all those things that you are going to be feeling you don't want are all those levels which are dying. And on a daily basis, you'll be invited into spaces where you are appearing in situations that you don't like or you don't want, and then old ways of yourself are about to step in to deal with in the way they know how to deal with, and then you see from another place and you say, I cannot deal with it in that way. A new way has to be born. How I respond from this new realized, how I respond with a new, which has true power in it, because you're moving from a deeper love, a deeper truth of the one. So then those old ways will fall apart. So that kind of dying and being born is happening within our consciousness now as a human race. So are you coming to France?
Maybe. Can you see my different levels?
Of course.
You can?
Can't you?
No.
But they are not how you imagine. It's not like to see something in, it's just obvious. If I can see different levels in myself, I can see it in you. There's no difference.
So what do you see?
I see where you have recognition. I see where there is recognition in you. Yeah, deeply. Yeah. There's the tasting of the true being in you. And then there are all these ways of Karin which are falling apart and being remade. Yeah?
Yeah.
I see the little girl. I see the young woman. I see all different.
Wow.
Of course. You don't see that here?
No.
No? I see the level in you which has such an innocence. Yeah? And also the ways in which you like to protect that innocence. Yeah? But I see your sweetness more than anything.
Do you have any advice for me?
Just keep being you. Yeah? Just keep being true to what you know more truly than anything else. Did you ask John for an advice?
Of course.
Very sweet. I feel such a sweetness. Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm sure that everybody on the call can feel that too.
You made me this way, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wasn't like this, like, half an hour ago.
Yeah. Yeah, your willingness to come with me is the participation,
Yeah. John talks a lot about open your heart, open and softness.
Yeah. That's very sweet, isn't it?
It is. And being your vulnerability, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see you in France.
Yeah. See if you can. I'd love to see you too. Okay, Karin. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
We have a question from Phyllis. Go ahead, Phyllis.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I cannot yet see you.
Oh, I'm up here.
Just a moment. You are here. Isn't it that if she speaks, she will come on?
It may do, but I think, do you understand there's a problem with the
She was up there a moment ago until you moved it. If you go back there, you'll find her in that corner. There. Hello, Phyllis.
Hello, namaste.
Hello,
can you hear
namaste.
me?
Hello. Hello.
I am so delighted and honored to be here with you.
Oh, thank you. Same.
Thank you very much. I find that in my work, maybe I better take this out. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you on the planet, Phyllis?
Okay. Yeah.
Where are you on the planet? Where are you?
Oh, in Nevada, Boulder City, Nevada. I live in the desert, believe it or not.
Wow.
And it's very, very hot here.
Yeah, I bet. Look at this miracle that we can
Really?
make like this.
Yes, this is wonderful.
Yes.
In all my work, and I've been on the road, on the path for many, many, many years, and I know what I am. But the opening doesn't happen because the ego pops up and does not allow it. And I talk to it all the time. I tell it it's not going to die, but it's going to go home. And it has to go home because we all go home at some point or another. And I don't know what to do. When something starts, like something dropped from my heart, it dropped below. And all of a sudden, out of my mouth came this yell, and everything stopped. And I knew this was the ego. It had come in and just ripped everything apart. It wants to be in charge. So I don't know what to do about it.
First of all, let's laugh. let's just laugh about that, you know.
Yeah. When you laugh, there's no ego.
Yeah. Right. So you are aware of all that?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Can you find that which is aware of all that?
It arises. I begin laughing.
Okay, but I ask you to keep eye contact with me for a moment.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, yeah. And then okay, good. Hello, Phyllis.
Hey! I'm so glad to see you again.
So, can you see what didn't move in all of that?
No.
Come really to meet me in the eyes. Yeah. There was a lot of movement there. Well, at least this end, because we had to figure out which computer, right?
Yes.
What never moved?
That.
Huh?
That. It's always here. Always here.
Right. So in this moment, right now. Where shall we find the ego?
Laughter does not have ego.
Where will we find the ego right now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
In the false self.
So see how ordinary this moment is.
Yeah.
See this ordinary moment. It's not any big bang. It's not any big tra-la-la, flashing lights. Look how ordinary this moment is.
Yes.
It's egoless.
Yes.
It's ordinary. It doesn't need any big bang. It's the simplicity of is. How much value does this have? This simplicity.
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so grateful that you are. Yeah.
Yes.
Really, because to really come to value the simplicity of this isness takes maturity. Yeah. is it enough? Is this enough? Whatever is here right now, is this enough?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Give your whole life to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I have 45 years.
Then welcome the ego into. Let whatever it is that you call ego, welcome it to come here and be in the space, because it is part of this creation.
I know. Yes.
You just don't go and land there and build a house, but it's part of the creation of all that's in the space here. This cup is in the space. This is in the space. Egoic structures are in the space. All is just part of what appears here.
Yeah.
As
All comes from the void. It all
Right.
comes. Yeah.
Right. There's no problem.
Yeah.
There's no problem with ego. Just don't take that to be who you are. Ah.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Ah. We all have egoic structures. We all
Yeah.
have to have an ego to cross the road.
Yeah.
But you don't get identified with that sense. And there's no problem.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you,
Thank you.
sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You are a joy, really, from the desert. Colorado?
No, Nevada.
Nevada. Nevada
Yes.
City. Wow.
No, that's California.
Oh, God. But it's planet Earth, right? We are on
Right. You will.
Yeah.
Right.
For the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
There are incredible things happening in our solar system and beyond, making great changes. We don't know. We can be here one moment and gone the next. Yeah? We have to value the miracle of this, the miracle of just being. And on top of the miracle, you can speak and I can speak and look in your eyes from the other part of the globe.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's fantastic.
It's incredible.
Yes.
And in some moment you will realize without these images, we can do the same thing.
Connect with each other.
Yeah.
Because we are one.
Exactly. The deeper you drop into your being, the more you can commune.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. You are beautiful.
Thank you. You are magnificent. Because of what you are. You are that, as I am that.
Yes.
So we are both magnificent.
Yes. Just don't let it go to your head. No.
What's that?
There's a song called Don't Let It Go to Your Head. No.
Oh.
That's it. It's that.
Yeah.
Just don't let it go to your head.
Yes.
Yeah. It's this simple, but this simplicity to be valued sometimes take a lifetime of struggle to come to bow down the head and go, oh, this simplicity, how could I ever have overlooked the magnificent magnitude of this simplicity. Of being.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. And the knowledge that the body is the gateway.
Yes. Yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I can feel it in my hands. I used to do, years ago, I used to do massage. And my hands knew where to go. I never had to tell it anything. It just knew where to go.
Yes.
And alleviate people's suffering. And it was wonderful, wonderful.
Yes. That's your being. Your being knows where to go.
Yes, yeah. And I recognized that at the time too.
Yeah.
I did not do the work. I was used to do the work. It was beautiful.
Yes, I know. I used to do massage too. It's amazing doorway.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's your being. Your being knows. If we only can just put all that aside and just let the cooking happen, let we come up with creations of magnificent dishes of food just by letting the movement move.
Yes, and I knew that.
Yeah.
I recognized who was doing the work. I knew it, and I just allowed. I stepped aside.
So it's time to allow this poor egoic structure, allow that to be freely here, recognized for what it is. Yeah, don't get in struggle with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I promise you.
you know it's not you, so
Of course.
allow it.
It's called the false self.
Welcome it. Welcome it to be part of the play.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It is part of the play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gratitude. Deep gratitude. I thank you very much.
Same. Thank you, Phyllis. Beautiful.
We have a typed question because he doesn't have a microphone. And I'm not sure if I'm saying his name properly. It's, I think, Igark. It's, hi everyone, this is my first time with this group in Ananta. Thank you for the invitation. If I understand everything intellectually, I am still seeking as if something is missing, as if I haven't arrived yet. Thanks, from Miami, Florida. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, he says, I understand that oneness, I understand the oneness, but don't feel it.
Could you read that again slowly, Joanne?
Yeah. If I understand everything intellectually,
Yeah.
I am still seeking as if something is missing, as if I haven't arrived yet.
Yes.
I understand the oneness, but don't feel it.
Yes. Well, in the beginning of this meeting online, when we dropped to deeper levels, was there any falling away of all of that understanding and tasting a deeper beingness? And I know you can't answer me because you don't have any microphone.
Igark, if you can just type in an answer to Ananta. Maybe ask him the question again to Ananta.
I can't remember it.
It was during the meditation in the dropping. If that all fell away for him.
What does that say?
He says, I live with my mother and she, and then it got cut off.
Yeah.
Still nothing. Just a minute. Oh, and she has dementia.
Oh, my father has dementia, so I understand what you mean by that.
And was talking all the time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes, so he...
I get that.
Yes, so the meditation wasn't...
I see. So,
but he says, and somehow I could follow. He says, follow you, but then I lost it.
Yes, I understand. I hope that you get some, even though you live with your mother, I hope that you get some breaks, because it really is quite a draining experience. I do know that. I spend a couple of days a week with my father. But then being with her, you can see that even though you can watch the madness of the mind and the confusion and all of that, but you can actually tune into a deeper level of her and feel her as a being. And I don't want this to become intellectual for you, but if you can just like start to feel her being underneath all of that confusion, and know her in your heart. But by going to your heart, know her in your heart. That can be a doorway for you to begin to know yourself. Like, just start to, if you can use the experience as an experiment while you're with your mother of communicating with her from your silent heart to her silent heart. And what I notice being with my father is that when I'm in my quietness, he picks up where I go within myself. He picks it up pretty instantly. And while on one level she's losing her mind, on another level well, I don't know about her, but in my father's case, on another level, he's beginning to know that of him that never changes. And I just keep pointing to that. And he keeps coming to it. So it's really, the whole experience can be an experiment for you. You can't believe the madness of her mind, therefore you cannot believe the madness of your mind. And you come to know her in your heart. If you can start to communicate from there. Actually, what I'd like to tell you is that at the end of this call, which is not that far away, we were going to announce that we're giving away a gift, free gift, to anybody who signs up on, receives my newsletter. We're giving out tomorrow, which is, I think it's tomorrow or it's Sunday, Guru Purnima Day. We're giving a gift of 3 2-hour audio open meetings, open satsangs from last year. And in all of those meetings, there's at least a half an hour guided dropping at the beginning of them. So if you'd like to receive them, you can go and sign up on the website, and then maybe in the moments that you get for yourself, you can start to go and learn what it is to drop. Because to be able to really drop into your being, there is where the knowing is. It's not something that you can understand intellectually and then try to get to, but it's really like giving up all that, where you drop into your being. And these recordings, there will be some nice guided droppings there, so perhaps they will be helpful for you. Did he write something more?
Yes, he said thank you. He wrote thanks.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's amazing how many of our human race are going into dementia. Yeah. And what I'm hoping for is in some moment when my father's mind is gone, that his being has some kind of, there are moments of recognition coming through. One beautiful thing is that he sees through all the nonsense of our society. He sees through it all. He knows that all these rules are all made up and they're all nonsense. Nothing means a thing. He knows that. And that's a beautiful liberation.
And he says, I think it is the epidemic of our century.
Yeah, one of them. His favorite sentence is, I don't care monkeys. Hello, who do we have here now?
Oh, that's actually good, actually.
We're going to have Keith next, so I will unmute Keith. And thank you, Igark, for your question.
Thank you, Igark. I can see you now. Thank you.
Go ahead, Keith.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't see you yet.
No, I'm going to turn round and let's see if we can do something with the shadows in this room.
Yeah, the shadows.
How's that?
Yes, I can see you in a little square box, and in a moment, yeah, now I can see you full with your beautiful big white bush. I might mistake you for Father Christmas if I.
Many do. Source of income. I'm getting a repeat back in my headphones, so yeah, I'm just going to have to take them off.
Okay.
Can you still hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Mind you, I do need to hear myself because I need to hear you. Yeah, just trying to get the words together because things come up naturally and then you have to hold them in the space. So trying to get the words back. It's around knowing what you speak at an absolute deep level. But how there's almost a concept out there of once you know this, well then why would you ever return to anything else? And I think that's the frustration of a lot of people, that once we get a sense of the beloved,
Yeah.
why would we ever leave?
We wouldn't.
Well, of course we don't.
You wouldn't.
But as Phyllis said before, the chatter just takes over and we almost forget our most basic level.
But do you forget?
No, not really.
No.
No.
I mean, if really you found the beloved, you don't really want to be far away from the beloved for very long. You can go to the shops or to the movies, but you know the beloved is waiting at home. You want to get home, right?
Well, the beloved is with me at the shops.
Yes. Yes. What I meant by that is you can wander a bit in your thinking, but you know the beloved is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But
you don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, what has just happened, and my point really was that how we are tested. That this last week I've been quite incredibly ill, and in that illness, the suffering of all the story comes forward.
Yeah.
So it's immensely testing, and as I'm now in recovery, everything is quietening again.
Yeah.
But how that storm comes up
of
suffering when I least expected it.
Yes. Yes.
So a test.
Well, you know, it's like I feel that as a human collective, we are emptying out. We're emptying out old consciousness. We're emptying out what the nonsense. We're emptying it all out, and for it to empty out, it has to run through our consciousness and not be given a life. You know, by that I mean not be energized. So while it's emptying out, it runs through your consciousness, and there is this like rah, 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 rah. But somehow it's coming conscious because you're seeing it in a way you've never ever seen it before. So it is being conscious. You know, it's like even like, and as you say, I'm sorry to hear that you've been so unwell. And for sure, when our body mind is down, our body mind is down, and then that can bring all of that turmoil. And for myself, what I can say is part of the most beautiful part of this freedom is that even that doesn't change this. You know, it's like no matter what can come through this human condition, it still doesn't change this knowing. And even if this knowing is just tiny in those moments, it's still here. and it survives it all. And when you know what survives it all, you do come to know what survives it all through those moments. That's where you come to know what survives it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there it gets more and more value.
Yeah. It's just that the mind deals with concepts. Sorry, that is such an echo. I can't hardly talk properly.
You mean that you're hearing your own voice?
Yeah. I'm speaking and then a delay.
What happens if you take the whole thing off?
I can't hear you.
Oh. Are you sure? I can hear you with one of those things.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something perhaps with the setup on the laptop. But it's just the concept of the mind saying, where's the stillness now? Where's your spirituality now?
Yeah.
Just wanted to focus on pain. And pain. Yeah.
Well, what I would say in those moments is that the body-mind, help the body-mind. Help the body-mind to come to rest.
Yes.
Do everything to take care of this animal.
Yeah. It was, what do you need?
Love, self-love.
Yeah. But my question too, what do you need? What do you need? What is comfortable? What isn't? What you have to let go of?
Yeah.
A whole diary of events.
As soon as you ask those questions within yourself, the answer will come.
Yeah.
In my most difficult moments, if I curl up in a little and I just ask, okay, what do you need? It comes, And I have quite a fragile physical body mind. Many of us do. Some of us have stronger constitutions. This one, it needs a lot of care and balancing to function well enough to even come to meet you.
Yes.
And a lot of my human life is around taking care of this machine that allows me to walk in this life. I have to take care of this a lot. Yeah. And it's a sweetness. It's really tuning in, because it's such a delicate instrument, this. It requires fine tuning, and especially I find, not for everybody, but as it ages, it's more and more fine tuning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What does it need simply? What does it need to be able to function at its sweetest?
Yeah. And of course, with your traveling and things like this, sleep disruption and the whole system just goes out of center.
Over and over. Half of my time is balancing that and rebalancing that.
But coming back to what never changes, despite.
Yes. Yes. And
that's lovely.
I live for that.
Yeah. It's been really nice talking to you. I hope this sounds very labored, because I've got two of me.
Where are you on the planet?
Liverpool.
Oh, really?
So I may come to see you.
Oh, good.
Soon.
Oh, good.
Is it July? This month?
Next weekend?
Yeah.
14 to 16. Oh, it's gorgeous down here. I have to tell you, it's gorgeous. The sea is just, you can see the sea from here. It's just 2 minutes walk. It's gorgeous.
Yep. So if I'm healed sufficiently, I will do my level best.
Can I ask, what is your physical illness?
The problem?
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, I've had 2 teeth out.
Oh.
So that was not the problem. I have ache.
Yeah.
But I had a really severe reaction to the anesthetic.
Yeah.
So I've been in bed for 3 days, very ill.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it should be clear.
Yeah. I apart from what I do here, I'm also secretly, but not so secretly, for those who know me a little more personally, my bags are just full of herbs and all kind of medicinal plants and support for the body mind. You
Right.
know, so if you're wanting some kind of advice on that level, send me a message, and I'm happy to suggest a couple of things that you can support yourself with.
That'll be very good.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
pleasure.
It's been very nice talking to you.
Yeah, same.
Good.
Mm.
Goodbye.
Mm. Be
Namaste.
well. Rest is the best the best healer. Rest.
Yeah. This
Yes.
has been
Rest.
first day up in 3 days.
Oh wow! But you
It
could
just
spend that
leveled me.
time. You could glorify the opportunity to stay in bed, and you could spend that time dropping deeper than the pain. This is beautiful.
Mm.
And you can find things to listen to online. You can find my dropping meditations or anybody else's, and listen to something that guides you into the depth, and just drop into the deep, and there you start healing. This is where healing takes place. Yeah.
It's something that I luckily found very easy to do.
Well then, hallelujah.
I just,
That's it. Hallelujah. This is the healer. Yeah. Yeah. In the midst of the pain, surrender.
yeah,
Surrender deeper. And then there comes a moment where we drop through the body layers and open up as stillness, source. This is where all the healing, the body can start repairing itself when you drop. A lot of love.
and to you, and to everybody listening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can we come back to the gallery?
Yeah.
And we have another question if you're ready.
Okay, and this is the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Brahmi. So go ahead, Brahmi.
Brahmi. Where's Brahmi? Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hello. Same. Where are you?
In Norway.
Ah. Beautiful.
Yes. You talked a little bit about it in the beginning, about the person. It seems to be an idea inside of me that the person has to go away for me to find the peace. Because it seems like all the problems are there, and it's constantly cooking up new stuff. And there's a lot of pain, and there is fear, and there is, all these problems.
And who told you that there's a person that exists?
I guess it's just a belief.
Yeah, it's a belief.
And it's also recognized that it's seen. It's like in front of me.
Yes.
Yet, very often the identification goes there,
Yes.
and then the problem gets real. And then I can sort of pull back and I can watch it, but it's also like, it's difficult to take the tension away from it. So it kind of just goes on, and I'm watching this movie, and I'm really tired of this movie.
Okay.
And it's like you say, even if I recognize that that I'm the being watching it, and it's happening inside of me.
Yeah.
Still, it just keeps on going, and I'm tired of it.
Okay, who is tired of it?
Yeah, that is also seen. Yeah.
Huh?
It's also seen, this one that is tired, yes.
Right. So what you're describing is different levels of yourself, right? So in the deeper levels, you're experiencing your real self, which is pure awareness that is able to see all of this and know all of this. Yeah? And then you're experiencing identification with a small self identity, right? This is normal, right? You got the certificate for normal. This is what everybody, no matter who they are, has the knowing of all that experience, right? So at the level of the small self identity, that is not a problem for who you really are. That is, just if you stay with me, the layer of the little self is it's built up together through beliefs and habits and ways and conditions, and that is now, it has a life of its own. It just is runs by itself, and now it's coming conscious in you. It never was conscious before. It just had a life of its own, and you thought that you were that, and you were identified in that, and it just all run by itself. And now you have some space around that.
Yeah.
You are the seeing of that, and it's coming conscious in awareness. Now, as it's coming conscious, you start to get involved by, you don't want it and you want to get rid of it. So there comes another layer of small self, right?
Yes.
So all of this is happening in awareness, and it's coming conscious. So whatever is wanting to come conscious in you, allow whatever is wanting to be seen to come conscious. Because if you just push it away and you just want to get rid of it, and you just like tired of it, and you just, you are overlooking something that is in your unconscious that's trying to come conscious. And only when it comes conscious are you able to see, that's how come this and this and this gets created, because there is this belief which has been unconscious, coming conscious now, which somehow I overlooked. But because I believe that, then all these other behaviors are tied into that. Now I see that belief is not true. And I step in with this seeing into those places and reform those same places with a new way of being through seeing. So your small self level is going to get remade with new ways of seeing and being, as the old ways are, the unconscious comes conscious. There's a dying off, and you're stepping in with new eyes. But if you just, I'm just tired of it, and I just, what is it that you're not wanting to see? What is it that you're not wanting to look at or feel? What have you not been willing to meet within yourself? What do you push away and deny? All unmet pains and unmet past tendencies will have to be met with new eyes. So open for whatever wants to come conscious. Open to see what wants to be seen. It's a very beautiful pointer what John de Ruyter brings. It's very simple and very beautiful and very simple, is opening and softening. And really, really, if we commit to opening, Wherever we experience the tightness, wherever we experience the closing, if we commit to step in there and open softly, the new will be shown. Yeah? You're being made new. Be very careful about non-duality concepts or pointers as holding them as like the person has to disappear. Be careful about that one. Because then you will spend the next 20 years waiting for some person to disappear.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. It's been running like, yeah, there's this subtle pushing away.
Yeah. But this, who is pushing away? You know? There is no person. Yet,
also because it's been experienced that it drops away and then there is no problem. So
there is no problem. There is no problem. Yeah. When it reappears, you're going to step into this world as an apparent person. There is a level of that within all of us, where I walk into a shop and I go to buy something, I appear as a person, right? Do I meet the being in the eyes who is serving me in the shop? Or just treat them as a person who is serving me? Do your job. You know, how do I meet the world? Where do I come from? What is my person filled up with? Is it filled up with my person, full of old ways to behave? Or is there a being here willing to meet the world and all levels within it? You have to be ready to meet yourself and all the levels of yourself before you're going to meet all this existence. Be open to meet what wants to be met. I suggest that this energy in you that is just tired of it, be willing to open to meet that. Stop and be still in it and experience tenderly those sensations. Let it all come home in you. Where did you get your name?
From Muji.
Uh-huh. I'm not surprised. In the very first moment that we came on, I knew Muji's influence here. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So Joanne will tell you once again about the gift that we're giving away if you're on the mailing list, for any of you who'd like to have that. Also, we will be offering these free open meetings once in a while, randomly. And of course, we have the regular Sangha happening every 2 weeks. I'll hand it over to Joanne, and before I sign off, I just thank every single one of you to giving value and your presence. Thank you for your presence, because this is the most valuable aspect of you. And thank you for being here. And I hand it over to you, Joanne.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ananta. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.